Well, today we are going to talk about matrix. To get an understanding about matrix, let's try to know the basic concepts, the terminology used in matrix and the type of matrix. Suppose we are given this data. There are three persons, Amar, Akbar and Anthony, and here are given the marks in their session ending exam in 5 subjects: physics, chemistry, math, CS and English. So we can see here there are 3 rows and 5 columns. The rows and columns are same as we have seen in Word or Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. You know, horizontal lines are rows and vertical lines are columns. So here you can see, here is first row, row 1, the second row, row 2, and the third row, row 3. And of course there is first column, then there is second column, third column, fourth column, and C5, fifth column. So here we have 3 rows and 5 columns. If somebody asks you what are the marks of Anthony in the subject maths, so Anthony, Amar, Akbar, Anthony is in the third row and maths is in the third column. So entry corresponding to the third row and third column is the marks of Anthony in the subject maths. In the same way, if somebody asks you what is the marks of Amar in the subject CS, so Amar is in first row and fourth column, so this is entry A14, that is 98. Now let's try to understand the definition of matrix. With this understanding that the first row denotes the marks of Amar, second row denotes the marks of Akbar, third row denotes the marks of Anthony, Amar, Akbar, Anthony, and the first column stands for physics, second for chemistry, third for maths, fourth for CS, and fifth for English. With this understanding, if I arrange this data in a rectangular array, and if I enclose it in square brackets, and this is known as the matrix representation of this data. Let's try to understand the definition of matrix. A matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers or functions or quantities. See, this is rectangular arrangement. It is, of course, it is ordered because you cannot interchange the marks of maths and chemistry. So it's an ordered rectangular arrangement of numbers or functions or quantity. Here may be some functions, sometimes cos theta, sin theta, or any function or some other quantities. Symbolically, a matrix is written as always denoted by capital letter A, and the corresponding small letter. If the matrix is A, then the small letter is small a, with double subscripts. यहाँ पर 2 subscripts होंगी, with double subscript, out of which the first one tells us the row index or the row subscript, and the second one tells us column index. First row, second column. Suppose I talk about this. This of course is in second row and fourth column. So this entry is row, second row, fourth column. To remember that, first row comes, then columns. Row, column. A, the word A, R, C, R can help. Element A, row, then column. And in general, if you want to see the marks of Akbar, you will go to Akbar's name. Then you find the subject corresponding entries. So row comes before column. A royal challenge. A, R, C. Is it clear? So first subscript denotes the row index and the second denotes the column. Is it clear? Now, How many rows can you see? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 rows. How many columns we have here? We have 5 columns here. So, if I talk about the order of a matrix, that sometimes is better known as dimensions. Order or dimensions or size sometimes. So if I talk about the size or order of a matrix, then it is very simple. Order. If a matrix has m rows and n columns, m rows and n columns. Row comes before column. Arc. Row and column. If a matrix has m rows and n columns, then its order is m cross n. That is m by n. इसको पढ़ा जाता है m by n. So here our matrix has 3 rows and 5 columns, so its order is 3 by 5. Suppose we have a matrix 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 7. Now if I try to find the order of this matrix, since it has 2 rows, horizontal are rows, and how many columns can you see? Obviously 3 columns. So its order is 2 by 3. Now, if someone asks you how many elements will be there in a matrix of order m cross n, see here. Here are 2 rows and 3 columns. Each row contains 3 elements and there are 2 rows, so obviously number of elements 6. If there are 3 rows and each row contains 5 elements, that is there are 5 columns, then obviously in all the rows, all the 3 rows, a total number of elements will be 15. So obviously the number of elements in a matrix of order m by n is simply m into n. Number of elements, or what we call entries. So far we have discussed a matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers or functions or quantities. It is usually denoted by capital letter of English alphabet and the corresponding small letter. If I name this matrix as B, then capital B is equal to BIZ, where and the order is 2 by 3. Here I goes from I की value ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कितनी हो सकती है? There are only 2 rows, so I is greater than 1 but less than or equal to 2, and J is greater than 1 but less than equal to 1 but less than 2. Now we know about order, and we have talked about number of elements in a matrix of order m by n. That is, if you are given a matrix, then you can find its order and you can tell how many elements are there. But suppose this time you are given the number of elements and you are to find what possible orders it can have. Suppose I have 6 elements. So these 6 elements can either be arranged in one row or one column. Since 6 is divisible by 2, so these 6 elements can be arranged in 2 rows and 3 columns, or 3 rows and 2 columns. So these are the possible orders of matrix if a matrix has 6 elements. Let's have one more example. If I have 24 elements, how can I arrange these elements to form a matrix? What possible orders can the matrix have? Well, as we have defined a matrix as Aij m by n, I takes the value 1 to m and j takes the value 1 to n. Means if I arrange this into rows and columns, then I can find all the natural numbers which divides 24. 1 divides 24, so order can be 1 by 24 or vice versa 24 by 1. 24 is divisible by 2. So one possible configuration, one possible rectangular array can be 2 rows and 12 columns, or 12 rows and 2 columns. It is divisible by 3. So 3 by 8 or 8 by 3. It's also divisible by 4, 4 by 6, 6 by 4, and it's divisible by 6. Now the reverse order 6, then again it by 8, by 12 and by 24. So if I am given a matrix, then I can find how many total elements are there, and if I have given total number of elements, then I can find what possible orders can the matrix have if I try to arrange these elements in a matrix. Let's take one prime number, say 11. In how many ways can it be arranged in a matrix? So it can have two possible orders. See, 1 by 11, that is 1 row and 11 column, or 11 by 1. It's not divisible by any other number. So there are only two possible orders. So for every prime number, we have two possible orders. Suppose I have a prime number 5. So it will be having only two possible orders, 1 by 5 or 5 by 1. And if I have any other number that is a composite number, then I just try. Suppose I have 72 elements. What possible orders can this matrix have? So 72 is divisible by 1. So 1 by 72 or 72 by 1. It's divisible by 2. 2 by 36. 36 by 2. It's divisible by 3 also. 3 by 24. 3 by 24 by 3. It's divisible by 4 also. 4 by 18. 18 by 4. It's not divisible by 5, but divisible by 6. It's divisible by 6. 6 into 12. 12 into 6. It's 7, not divisible. 8. 8 by 9. 9 by 8. Now, it's divisible by 9. 12, 18, 24, 36, 72. Well, after discussing this, we discuss type of matrices. Matrices. Now, the first is row matrix. If a matrix has only one row, the number of columns may be any natural number. If a matrix is such, that is the rectangular arrangement is in such a way that there is only one row, that is simply if I write a matrix symbolically, it's order m by n, this shows number of rows and this shows number of columns. So if in a matrix there is only one row, that is if m is equal to 1, then the matrix is known as row matrix. For an example, 1, 2, 3, or simply 1, or any matrix which has only one row, that is a row matrix. Now we talk about the second thing, that is column matrix. Obviously, a matrix which has only one column is known as a column matrix. So for example, for this we need n is equal to 1. Number of columns is equal to 1. Example 1, 3, 5, simply 1, 2, 3, 4, or this is a column matrix. So a row matrix is a matrix in which we have only one row. The column matrix is a matrix in which only one column. Number of row may be a natural number. Now we talk about zero matrix. What a zero matrix is? A zero matrix is a matrix is denoted by capital O, is a matrix all of whose elements are zero. This may have any order. So a zero matrix of order 2 by 3, that is 2 rows and 3 columns, can be given as 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It has 2 rows and 3 columns. A zero matrix of order 2, that is order 2 by 2, is just 0, 0, 0, 0. A zero matrix of order 1 by 1 is simply. So row matrix has only one row, column matrix has only one column, zero matrix is a matrix all of whose elements are zero. Now we talk about a square matrix. Square matrix. See, by definition, every matrix is rectangular. And you know by geometry, a rectangle is said to be a square if its dimensions, that is length and breadth, are same. In the same way, if number of rows is equal to number of columns, that is the row index and the column index are equal. If m is equal to n, then the matrix is known as a square matrix. In NCERT textbook, in exercise 3.1, there is a multiple choice question in which question is asked, a matrix is said to be a square matrix if there are given options m is less than n, m is greater than n, m is equal to n, or none of these. So obviously, a matrix is a square matrix if m is equal to n. Now, we have diagonal matrix, scalar matrix, unit matrix. To understand diagonal matrix, scalar matrix, unit matrix, we must learn one new thing, that is diagonal elements. Diagonal elements. See, when we talk about diagonal or diagonal elements in matrices, we are talking about a square matrix. Suppose I have a 3 by 3 matrix, first row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column, second row, first column, second row, second column. Row comes first, then column. Second row, third column. This is third row, first column, third row, second column, third row, third column. This is a square matrix because here the number of rows is equal to number of columns. Now, what are the diagonal elements? The diagonal elements are those in which those i's for which I is equal to j. I is equal to j. I is equal to j. The row index and column index are same. Those are the diagonal elements. See, in geometry we have two diagonals. In matrices, when we talk about the leading diagonal or the principal diagonal, which starts from the upper leftmost element to the lower rightmost element. So this is our diagonal. Right? And here in diagonal you can see the row index is equal to the column index. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. One important observation which you can have is when you go below the diagonal or when you go down, here the row index, that is the first subscript, increases. So here I increases. And when you go from left to right, J increases. See, column index is increasing. The row index is same. So, suppose you are at diagonal. If you are moving right, J increases. If you are moving left, J decreases. Or you can say J remains same. If you go down, I increases. So for this part, you can see the row index is greater than column index. In this part, you have the row index less than column index. See, in the diagonal, row index is equal to the column index, that is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 likewise. But for upper elements, you have I is less than J, and here you have I is greater than J. We will talk about upper triangular matrix and lower triangular matrix also. So, now we must go for diagonal matrix. Let's talk about a diagonal matrix. What a diagonal matrix is? A square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix if Aij is equal to 0 whenever I is not equal to J. A matrix is said to be diagonal matrix if all the elements except diagonal are 0. So here you can have A11, A22, A33 and other elements must be 0. Whenever I is not equal to J, I is not equal to J, those elements are 0. And where I is equal to J, nothing is given. So you can have here different elements, you can have same. So diagonal, the definition of diagonal matrix, a matrix is said to be a matrix Aij n cross n is said to be a diagonal matrix if Aij is equal to 0 whenever I is not equal to J. Now we talk about a particular case of diagonal matrix, scalar matrix. Scalar matrix is a diagonal matrix in such a way that all these three elements are same, whatever that is. Suppose it is K, K, K. So the definition of scalar matrix is simple. Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to J. Alright. But if I is equal to J, all those elements are having same value. Diagonal, in the diagonal you are having the same elements. Then obviously it is a scalar matrix. Next is unit or identity matrix. Unit or identity matrix is also scalar matrix or a diagonal matrix in which all the elements in the leading diagonal are unity, that is 1. So, the definition obviously for unit matrix is all the elements, that is non-diagonal elements, must be 0 and all the elements in diagonal must be unity, that is 1. So this is a unit matrix. See. So every unit matrix is a scalar matrix because it fits on the definition of scalar matrix. Scalar matrix says all the non-diagonal elements must be 0 and the diagonal elements must be same. Took a constant, that K is taken here 1. Every scalar matrix is a diagonal matrix because scalar matrix fits on the definition of diagonal matrix. In the scalar matrix, all the non-diagonal elements are 0. Again, all the diagonal matrices are square matrices. Well, now let's take an example of a matrix which fits in almost all these definitions. So this one is the best example. See, it is a row matrix because it has only one row. It's a column matrix because it has only one column. It's a square matrix because number of rows is equal to number of columns. It is a diagonal matrix because all the non-diagonal elements are 0. There is only one element, that is 1 1. The position of this element is 1 1. That is this element is a diagonal element. So all the non-diagonal elements are 0. So it's a diagonal matrix. Moreover, all the diagonal elements are same. So it's a scalar matrix. And moreover, all the diagonal elements are 1. That is unity. So it's a unit matrix. Well, now we have left only one topic for exercise 3.1, particularly construction of a matrix. We have to construct a matrix of order 3 by 2 whose elements are given by Aij is equal to half of modulus of minus 3i plus j. See, the general notation for matrix is A m by n is equal to Aij. I goes from 1 to m and j goes from 1 to n. Right? Here we need a 3 by 2 matrix. 3 by 2. So I goes from 1 to 3 and j goes from 1 to 2. So what element we need? Where I is up to 2 and the maximum value of j is up to 2. Well, or simply a general matrix. A general matrix of order 3 by 2 is given by Three by 2 means we have 3 rows and 2 columns. So A1, 1, 1, 2. Only 2 columns we need. 2, 1, 2, 2. Third row, first column. Third row, second column. So these are the elements we need. Either we keep these constants in mind that the value of I is up to 3. So I goes up to 3 and j, the value of j is, maximum value of j is 2. Or you simply write the general form and you find the values of these elements one by one. Now, A11. To find A11, we replace I by 1 and j by 1 in this formula. Thus, A, I, j. A, R, C. Row comes before column. So I is row index and j is column index. So replace half of minus 3 into 1 plus 1. That gives us half of minus 2. That is simply 1. So this is 1. Now A12. A12, we replace I by 1 and j by 2. So this gives me minus 3 plus 2. That is 1 by 2. Again we need A21. For that we replace I by 2 and j by 1. So this gives me minus 6 plus 1. That is minus 5. The modulus is 5. 5 by 2. So this is simply 5 by 2. 2, 2. Replace I by 2 and j by 2. So this gives me minus 3 times of 2 plus 2. So minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4. Minus modulus of minus 4 is 4. 4 divided by 2 will give you 2. So this is 2. A31. A31. To get A31, replace I by 3 and j by 1. So half minus 3 into 3 plus 1. That is half of minus 9 plus 1. That is minus 8. Modulus of minus 8 is 8. 8 by 2 is 4. So this entry is 4. Now A32 finally. A32. So replace I by 3 and j by 2. So this gives us minus 9 plus 2 is minus 7. That is 7 by 2. So this entry is 7 by 2. This is how we construct a matrix of given order. This must be kept in mind. See here, we needed A3 2, but we didn't need A2 3. Second row, third column is not there. So this we must keep in our mind. Either we write general matrix or we must keep these two things in mind, that the value of I is less than or equal to 3 and the value of j is less than or equal to 2. Now the next is equality of two matrices. Equality of two matrices. Two matrices are said to be equal. The first condition is their order must be same. So equal matrix. When we talk about equal matrix, there are two conditions. First, order must be same. Order must be same. And second condition is, if the two matrices are A is small a ij m by n and B is bij, and here the order must be same. Let me take the same order, m by n. So aij must be equal to bij for every ij. For every possible value of I and j, the possible value of I is up to n, from 1 to n, and the possible value of j is from 1 to n. The aij must be equal to bij, that is the corresponding elements must be equal. See, if I have a matrix 1, 2, 5, 9 and another matrix 1, 2, 5, 9, then these two matrices are equal. If I take a matrix 1, 2, 5, 9 and 1, 2, minus 5, 9, then these two matrices are not equal, because this element is not equal to its corresponding elements, that is A1, 2 is not equal to B1, 2. So, in order to be two matrices equal, first thing, the order must be same, and second thing, all the corresponding elements, all the corresponding elements of the matrices A and B must be equal. Now there are some questions related to this. See, if I say find the value of x, y and z if the following two matrices are equal: x plus 3, y plus 2, z minus 3, 7 is equal to 9, 5, 3, 7. Find the value of if these are equal. Since the matrices are given equal, so on comparing the corresponding elements, x plus 3 is equal to 9 and y plus 2 is equal to 5 and z minus 3 is equal to 3 and 7 is equal to 7. So this gives me x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 5 minus 2, that is 3, and z is equal to 3 plus 3 is 6. Well, this is how we equate two matrices. There is a question: if two matrices are given and it's not given that they are equal, we have to find the value of x, y, z so that they become equal. Then we have done. Suppose I write here 9, and if I ask for what value of x, y and z these two matrices are equal, then by inspection it's very simply we can say this element is not equal to this. Whatever value x, y and z takes, these two elements are not going to co-equal. So obviously A22 is not equal to B22. So these two matrices cannot be equal for any value of x, y and z. And let's take one more case. Here it is 7, alright. Here x plus 3 and here x plus 5, and x plus 5 is given as 19. So this will give me a contradictory result. See, I take x plus 3 is equal to 9, y plus 2 is equal to 5, and x plus 5 is equal to 19, 7 is equal to 7. Well, this gives me x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 3, and x is equal to 19 minus 5, that is 14, and 7 is equal to 7. Right. If I take x is equal to 6, then these two elements will be equal, but if I take x is equal to 6, then this will become 11, that is not equal to 19. And if I take x is equal to 14, these two will be equal, but these two will not be equal. That means x is equal to 7, and at the same time x cannot be equal to 14. That is, x cannot be equal to 6 and 14 simultaneously. So for this question, our answer is, it is not possible to find any such value of x and y which can make these two matrices equal. There is a multiple choice question in our textbook, NCERT textbook, where the two matrices cannot be equal for any value of x, y and z. So we can go for exercise 3.1 and other exercises. Thank you.